What's going on, guys? My name is Edwin Maddy, along with the love of my life,
Maddie Ferry.
and welcome to Unqualified. Unqualified is a podcast where we discuss qualified topics as unqualified individuals. I know we're late. We had some technical difficulties last time, but we apologize, but we're back. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you, as always, for all the support that we've gained. We were very excited for the upcoming episodes that we're going to release on Unqualified.
Yeah, we have very exciting things coming. Like he said, it's been a learning process through this, which I think has been really cool for the both of us. He's been dealing with the more technical side of things because I don't know what I'm doing, but we're learning together, and we're really excited with where it's going. And we have a lot of new things coming and new additions to like the set, things like that.
And we're not really worried because everyone who watches this, we already told you guys. So thank you. And if you're new, we appreciate it. If you hate us, we appreciate it. Keep tuning in. Today's topic, what we want to discuss is the concept of jealousy in a relationship.
Yeah, and balancing that with, I think, it's very interesting. We're going to get deep into it, but we're going to do gender roles and different things like that and how it relates to jealousy. But yeah.
And how we each handle it. So with that, let's get into it.
Cheers.
Also, no free promo on these, by the way. All right. No free promo on those.
Watermelon high noons are just
terrible.
They're a little nasty. Okay, so I want to start by saying this is a very, honestly, a lot of our topics are specific to relationships, each individual person.
And we promise we're going to switch it up at some point. We're going to talk about all guy stuff, all girl stuff. But, just as a start, we want you guys to understand who we are and what we're talking about. So.
But this can go either way. This can be both men and women can struggle with this. And honestly, I think it's equally as bad on both sides. And people may disagree, but I truly believe that. I think a lot of women struggle with jealousy and a lot of men struggle with jealousy. So I think it's going to be interesting for us to talk about that because Edwin is not a normal guy, I would say, because he's very secure with himself and honestly does not get jealous. And we're going to get into that. So my first question to you is going to be, what is your thought process around jealousy in a relationship, and like how do you handle that?
I might be just conflicted on what the feeling may be, but jealousy in my brain stems from something that, one, we can't control, and two, sometimes our brain has a way of playing and filtering certain information so that we can only either see what's worse or even sometimes what's great. This is why, and not to get too in the weeds of it, but if you guys read the book called Stoicism or have the understanding of what that actually means, it's kind of just all it means is staying at a normal playing field. And most times how we get to the concept of oh, I'm jealous, or oh, I have envy, or whatever it may be, it's because of your past relationships. What does that mean? You're just bringing whatever insecurities that you may have to the next person. So as far as me, I would never get jealous of someone talking to Maddie in like a sexual way. I'd probably be like, that's probably a little disrespectful and we shouldn't be doing that. But I do have security in myself knowing that if I am doing most things right in my relationship, and if I treat Maddie right and I do trust Maddie in any scenario, I know that nothing is going to happen. So therefore, I can easily filter it out of my brain.
Really quick, though, like him saying sexually, that obviously never happens. What he means by that is like
it's like if someone hits on
secure in himself. If I am flirting and doing something wrong, then like
that's a whole different scenario.
Yeah, I'm like that's then I don't deserve to be.
And
with
that
him.
does happen, not in our relationship, but it does happen in the world. So if you're watching this and you say like, oh well, I did everything right in my relationship and I trusted my girlfriend. I'm not saying this is impossible. What I'm saying is that you need to take the time to understand who you're in a relationship with, so that way when you do get in the relationship, if it does happen or even if it doesn't happen, you can kind of sort of be prepared. And sometimes you're not, but tough. And I don't know how else to say it, but. Yeah. All you can do is control what you can control from your perspective.
I think, again, today's theme, I really want to focus on jealousy, but also comparison, because I feel like sometimes they do go hand in hand. with a lot of things. And why'd you stop?
Because I didn't know if. Never mind. Keep going.
Oh, okay. No, I think that it's important to talk about both things because they kind of do go hand in hand when it comes to relationships. For me,
Yeah.
I am definitely a jealous person. I have gotten much better about it because Edwin's really changed my perspective on things like that, in the best way possible. Because at the end of the day, you should be secure with yourself and your relationship and most importantly, your partner and that trust. But one thing that I think is normal is, say, a gorgeous, and I'm not the type of girl, like every girl I'm like, oh, that girl's so ugly, like she's the worst, like,
I don't think you ever said that.
I think I genuinely am always like, dude, that girl's gorgeous, or like this. I'm a very much like about like, acknowledging a woman's beauty and stuff. So if a gorgeous model or some gorgeous woman comes up to Edwin, like, yeah, I'm going to feel a type of way about it. That will never change in my heart. But it's how I handle it and how I let my mind not go to a certain deep, dark place of what ifs. And because of the things I've been through, like Edwin said, a lot of people let that trickle into their current or new relationships. I am very guilty of that, and I've been working on that. But I think that is something very natural that happens. It's just how you handle it and how you go forth with it, especially as we continue to grow up. Back then, when we were younger, I feel like it's more common.
Yeah, like in high
make it a
school
big
or middle
deal.
school or any of
Yeah.
that stuff, like that's gonna happen. I'm not saying it's normal, but
Yeah.
that just goes back to like, who were your parents? Like, did your parents raise you, and where you're getting your information from when it comes to a relationship? But all of this stuff that she's saying is normal. I'm not saying that it's, and I don't ever dismiss the fact that she feels
No,
jealous.
yeah, he doesn't.
Where I draw the line is like, all right, like what is real, and I guess what is it? The scenario that we've been working in is anything. This is not regarding jealousy, but just anything in life.
Yeah.
I know Maddie's tendencies when in her brain and kind of how it works. I see it kind of either formulating into a really good thing or tumbling into the worst, and I can see it visibly.
That's
So
nice.
something that I've challenged Maddie to do, and also challenged myself to do, is if something is really, really bothering you, as to where you need to tell your partner or whoever you're married to or in a relationship with, I need you to think about it for like 10, 15 seconds, maybe even 20 seconds. If you can go like a
For
minute,
some people, 5 minutes.
maybe if you can go for 5, 10 minutes, like I can, play out the scenario. And honestly, if you got to go into another room and say it out loud, if it sounds absolutely insane, odds are it is crazy. And I don't mean to say that in like a demeaning way, but sometimes you got to filter out what you're willing to have an argument over and what you're not, right? If we've talked about the same thing a couple different times and it's going to be the same, no, whatever you came up with in your head is not true, that's a healthy way to say, okay, maybe I need to think about this. Maybe even say it out loud. Maybe write it down. Maybe even tell somebody else, right? Tell your whoever your trusted adult is, your mom
your
or
parents,
or
your
your
best
friends.
friends.
And even sometimes, you believe it or not, some of your friends will be like, dude, that's kind of insane. Like, and then they'll hold you accountable, right?
Same for women too. I think one thing that is
I think women are better at doing that, like telling you, no, you're crazy or no, you're right, better than men are.
that is very true.
Because your guy
We
friends will just
stand
be
up.
like, well, I mean, why do you feel like that? And now we're going down a rabbit hole together. And then we got a third guy looped in, But
yeah, I think one thing as women that is like a fine line, which needs to be studied, and I've always thought is very interesting, is a lot of us women enjoy that toxicity a little bit of having a man that's jealous to an extent.
that's crazy. Like
To an
I think
extent.
I think that is the most unhealthy thing of all time.
But he knows that this is very common
Yeah,
and
I mean,
real, and like I
course.
100% have fallen
It's like the
into
fantasy
that
of that. But then what
because
people
it's like it makes you feel like he cares, like,
more. And it's
yeah,
like,
I've gone
I think I
through
hear
this time and time again with my therapist. It's something that, again, it's very interesting to me because so many women I know that I've talked to and that I've experienced myself are like, I really love like when my boyfriend or this partner that I possibly will date gets jealous. Like it just makes me feel so good and like he's so protective and whatever. In reality, jealousy is not a good thing. It really isn't, and it's taking away joy from you and the happiness and the good things in a relationship, depending how far you let it go.
right.
Now, I hope you guys agree with me, but I do think this is a huge struggle for people, and it's just so interesting. Like, why would you want that, right? Obviously, I can say, on the other hand, he definitely cares. Like, it's not that he doesn't care if a group of men came up to me or hitting on me in front of him. Like, he's obviously going to care and feel a type of way, but he's not going to get so jealous to the point where he's worried about me going out with my girlfriends. And every time I'm out, he's like so worried that a guy's going to come up to me and things like that. No, you're not.
No, not me. I know where we're going with this.
Yeah.
All right.
So
let me just hop in here real quick because I'm trying to, so we don't have to.
Okay.
And Maddie said something earlier that's really interesting to me. She said, like, comparison and jealousy, they kind of go hand in hand. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm very comparative, especially like to even my siblings, right? Like, or even someone, mainly in my world, it's
envy,
like
comparison, jealousy. They all kind of,
mainly in my world, it's all financial. Like, if someone's like more well off than me, I'm happy for you, but I'm also like, damn, I need to kind of like step my shit up, because that is my problem. And that's where I need to kind of disassociate finances from like real world, I guess. So that's another topic for later on. But yeah, my siblings. I mean, my siblings gone into a different field, and they've always been in that field, and they're honestly wired in a different way than I am. So I've always been a little bit envious or compared myself to them in the sense that, damn, like, and I even tried some of these classes in college, like they're in tech. I tried it, and it was not. And I tried it in high school too. And it just did not work out for me. And I knew that they were going to be well off a little bit earlier on. Do I think that they care about that? No, but sometimes in my life, I'm like, man, if I went into that field with them, I think I could have been, a little bit better off, right? But again, where I stop myself from thinking, right? Like, you can see how I just went through that little scenario, but where I stop myself is, okay, well, first of all, I would not have had half of the experience that I had I gone into tech or had I gone down that route. And most importantly, I would not be sitting here with the love of my life doing this podcast. I mean, I'm all for the whole invisible string theory, and I know for a fact that we would have been together at some point in my life. But had it gone like this, no, absolutely not. If I took that route, so that's where I'm good at is thinking about some of this. Think about some of this stuff, and then stopping where it's like, all right, before I go to the next step, I need to take a step back and realize what I'm grateful for, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I really like that he brought that up because I think obviously comparison is just inevitable, especially now with social media. I always am going to bring that up.
Yeah,
because it's so real. And that especially correlates to relationships, romantic relationships, friendships, all types of things like that. The comparison, and it's obviously the thief of joy. And it's something that we all struggle with, whether it's like he said, comparing as a man his job and what he could be doing better compared to how some of his friends are now and things like that. I do the same thing. I mean, there's people my age that are married with children, and I'm like, whoa. Now, is that necessarily what I want? No, absolutely not. But it's like, okay, it makes you start thinking, right? And you can go kind of into this spiral. And I think one thing that people struggle with is obviously in every relationship is unique to itself. Something that works for us may not work for the next couple. But one thing that I think needs to be recognized is the toxicity of jealousy and honestly the double standard too of jealousy. Like,
it's a whole.
There are obviously, as women, unfortunately, we can't do things like men can without being worried about our safety. That's a whole nother conversation, and that's something that sucks. But if I hear that a guy is allowed to go out with his boys to a dive bar or something, but if I want to go with my girls and so can't go because the boyfriend's feeling a type of way, it's like, hold on.
It's a little weird.
If we're in a safe situation, we know we're okay.
Mind you, we all have phones, and everyone around us has like phones too. If someone starts like shooting up the place, right? Like,
and it's not even with some people about safety. It's about jealousy and being like, what if a guy hits on her? What if she's talking to someone for too long? What if all these things?
Like that in my head makes me proud. Like, I'm not saying I'm not a cuck, right? I'm not saying that I like when guys go up to my girlfriend, but what I will say,
we are very proud of that. We're like, when we're attractive, we don't wish for people to hit on him, and he doesn't wish that, but it does
feel good. Like, what I want you to do is think of the concept of jealousy and flip the script. If you are as observant as I am, what I do the moment that I walk into a restaurant, right? And I think I said this on the last time we recorded this, so I'm glad I brought it up. When I walk into a restaurant, I love how many looks I get when I'm like either leading Maddie in a restaurant or that she is getting. Now it could be one of two things. Either Maddie looks really good or these people are terrified because I'm an African-American male, or they think I'm an athlete. But I don't have the high net worth
That is
as an
very
athlete.
true.
It's definitely because I'm black, and one, my girlfriend is beautiful. So it might be a combination of all those, right? But I want to touch on this before we go forward. The reason why comparison is not good, and I can say that from like a just an understanding standpoint of both parties, is because you're comparing your life to, let's say it's someone your age, and makes a little bit more than you, right? You have no clue what that person, how the chapters, the struggles, the downfalls that person has been through in your life. So how dare you say, hey, I should be at this point just because we're the same age.
Or the connections, or like
Correct.
There's just so much you don't know.
And this person may be so much better than me in a personal or professional setting, but yet all I'm seeing is, oh, we graduated at the same time. We work in the same industry. We have the same job, but you don't know what these guys are doing behind the scenes to better themselves. Like, you know, some people, like, I'm reading this book here, The Emotional Intelligence, right? And that helps not only professionally, but it's easy professionally because I can put on a face at work and I can, do that. But where it's really challenging is my actual relationship, right? Like, that's more the hard part. And that's where I feel like I'm winning in life now, is trying to learn this, not work.
That's very sweet. I love you.
For sure.
But no, it is something. And again, this is like normal, and people really do struggle with this. And I think it's something that's not talked about enough with people in their 20s and 30s and so on. I mean, up until you're 80, right? But like, especially now when we're changing so much and there's so much pressure on, dude, everything. I love it. But like, it sucks when sometimes the only question is like, when are you, like, to him, like, when are you proposing? When are you proposing? Like, dude, okay, we haven't even been together for 2 years, and we know we're gonna be married.
People only see the surface level, like when we're going out, and it's great, obviously. And I've told, and this is the reassurance that I've told Maddie before we even kind of got around our friends, is like, listen, like, and again, this is part of my problem. I know that I will be with you. We will be together one day, but we need to have the finances kind of right? Like, I work in finance, and there's a lot
of factors. It's not just that.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff we got to work on too.
And we know what we want in the future. It's fine when certain people ask, because it's not a constant thing. But we know some people where it's like every single time that's all they say, and it's like, okay, like again. That's something.
It's like, you're worried about us, but you probably should focus on some
yeah. And again, it's sweet. With certain people have good intentions, but others, it's like, okay, like, is that really necessary? You know what I mean? But I think, again, going back to the jealousy portion, another thing that people, I think, we struggle with, and we wouldn't know if we didn't have stupid social media, is when people post things about their couple. My mom always reminds me of this. People will post things, in their couple. They're doing amazing. They're traveling. They're doing all these things. They got the best new job. I mean, you're only posting the best, right? You're not posting the worst. And the amount of couples that are getting a divorce, that are breaking up soon, that are having cheating issues, like, you just don't know what people are going through. And it's natural to see, like, oh my God, like, everyone's getting engaged. And if that's something you want really bad at the moment, that sucks. And it's like, gosh, like, I wish that was me, right? But you also don't know, like Edwin said, you just don't know, like, where these people are actually heading in life, if it's a good decision for them, yada, yada, yada. But jealousy really comes down to, like I said, it's all intertwined in different aspects of comparison and envy and all those kinds of things. And I think a lot of people are envious or jealous of a certain life that they want to live that maybe they don't have right now, that you can have in the future, or if they didn't make decisions that they wish they could have made, and now their life is projecting out in a way that they, didn't hope for, and things like that. But I do challenge people, especially women, because I know we struggle with this, and men too, of that toxicity and enjoying the, like, I'm telling you, it is so.
And it's not just the traditional, oh, like this person is like hitting on my girlfriend, or
no.
from the main
It's like
parts I've seen. There's a lot of other ways that you can go about it, but I want to be very, very clear. We are not saying this to complain. Whenever anyone speaks in general, all I hear is the simple, listen, here's a problem, here's why it's a problem. The goal of this podcast is, one, to be aware of it in real time, so that way whenever you go through it, you can be aware of it, and that kind of helps progress, right? Like, not, and again, it's not going to fix one time, but it's to let your brain know, hey, like I feel myself getting jealous, I feel myself getting angry. Let me take a step back and either let me help the situation, or maybe I need to take a little break and then come back to the situation.
And we have both experienced these things with past relationships, of people struggling with jealousy. So we're speaking from experience, right? And obviously we're not judging anybody. I'm glad he made that clear. We're just speaking from experience and things that I think we observe in like our current life that we continue to like try to be better at and grow and things like that. But it is a constant struggle for a lot of people. And again, I was in a situation like that where it was that super toxic crap of like almost like one-upping each other to make each other like more jealous and controlling and all these things. And it's like, that is just so unhealthy. And again, obviously trust comes into play here too, right?
At some point,
For jealousy. I mean, if you trust your partner, there really is no reason to be jealous. And something that's funny is like about, I don't know, a few months ago, Edwin and I were talking about, I always am just so amazed with like just his composure and his security in himself. And there's a difference between security and cockiness. He is secure. He is not cocky. He's very humble. Obviously, he knows he's a great, amazing person and he's good looking and all these things, but he's much more humble than a lot of people think and probably see from the outside. But he told me, he was like, genuinely, if I sent you to a country and it was full of just attractive men, like thousands and thousands.
And this is assuming these men are not dangerous, right? I would never send her to
no.
To
this
like,
is a very hypothetical to just kind of
but
make me understand the magnitude of it.
It's a what is it? Not symbolism. It's an analogy.
An analogy, yeah.
Shout out to Dave.
But yeah, if he sent me and I'm surrounded by men, he's like, I genuinely, again, if they were safe and all the concern was that they could possibly find me attractive or whatever and tried to hit on me or something, he's like, I would genuinely be so secure because I know what we have and I know you wouldn't jeopardize that. And that's something that I think is so calming and nice when you like have that security and are like, I have no concern of you jeopardizing this. Like, it's something that's rare because I obviously, again, have a lot of trust issues and I try to never ever think that way, but because I've been wrong time and time again with cheating, it sucks and you do think about it that way. But Edwin's, to his point, it's like we're a brand new love and a like a pure intentions and all these things, like that's not even on the table for us. Like, and that's where his mind goes. And I'm like, wow, like that's so true. And it's also the way you handle things, right? Like, I think the way he handles and the way I handle situations, if someone approaches us, is very respectful. Again, we're not going to be like, bitch, get away from me, I have a boyfriend.
I literally have never been hit on in the past 2 years of us dating. Our second year anniversary is on
older
the first.
People are probably, but like
older, yeah. It's like women over the age of 40. Yeah, 100%.
He's also extremely intimidating. I mean, look at you. Like, my mom's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
who
because
would
I'm black.
Go up to you. You're also tall and
black.
And yeah. Okay. Yes. But I guess.
But anyway, our people our age, it just doesn't fucking happen. Like, and I'm okay with that. But like, the only times that I've ever been hit on are, again, women of 40 and older, and Maddie has seen it. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but the way you handle it is respectful. And I know there's been a few times of situations of people being odd or weird, or we've had a lot of swinger encounters. We're not going to get into that.
Like,
but
one too many.
The way we handle it, I think, is very respectful. And there's a right way to go about it, right? That is another red flag, I think, when people immediately are like, fuck you, like screaming, cursing.
Yeah, like, get away from me. Like,
yeah, you're disgusting. Like, okay, like, why are we being disrespectful to a human? Now, if they're being outrageous and trying to touch you and all these.
Yeah,
That's
then
a
you
whole
can
nother
hop
thing.
on that.
But if
aggressive
someone
way.
genuinely is like, "Hi, what's your name?" and you can kind of sense that, okay, I know where this is leading. You're probably gonna ask for my number, whatever. You can quickly like, yes, I'm actually taken, whatever. But a simple conversation is not rude. It's also how your body language is. If you're close to this person and intently listening, that's probably inappropriate. Like, you could be a normal human, like you're having a conversation with, like someone you met on the street or a colleague or whatever. Have that boundary, but you can be respectful and nice about it. Like, you don't have to be mean about it. And the people that are like, if you even speak a word, like, it's like, okay, like we are just not like that. We're social and we're nice. And so we are not mean to people.
And also work in customer service. So it's like, what the fuck?
And
like,
one thing that I
what do you
will say
expect,
is a lot of men do push and push and push. Like, I can't stand that. That's when I do get a little mad. Like, and if I literally show my lock screen and it's Edwin and I, or it's just Edwin and I'm like, this is my boyfriend, and you're like, well, he won't know, or you can still give me your Instagram or whatever. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, that's where I draw the line. Now I feel disrespected and I don't want to talk to you anymore, But I think, again, these things are going to happen. If you guys, which all of our friends are beautiful, attractive couples, it's going to happen. And like, you have to trust, and like, handle it with grace.
And
right?
if you can't like bring yourself to like trust the other person, or it may not be trust, whatever it is in your brain, if you can't get to the point where you're like, you know what, my girlfriend loves me and I know she wouldn't do anything to jeopardize me, then at the end of the day, there are some points in my life where I was just like, you know what, I know who I am, I know who this other person is. And sometimes, you get the other end of the stick and you're like, man, like, I know, again, I'm secure in myself, but I don't know if this person is like, I'm not on this person's level. So at the end of the day, sometimes you just got to throw your hands up and be like, listen, I don't know. If they cheat on me, they cheat on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't control that. Like, so why am I going to sit there like being pressed about it, thinking about, okay, well, what are they doing? And I think that's just like the last resort.
My biggest fear with him, and I think this is like the biggest green flag, is like him dying. It's not him cheating. It's not any of those things. The one thing that I struggle with, and it's a constant battle, is, again, because I've gone through it so much, I've never loved someone like I've loved him. So it terrifies me that anything bad could happen between us that would cause us to break up, which won't happen, right? But I get scared, like, and it's a battle where you're like, Maddie, wait, this is irrational. Like, these are things, obviously death, that's a different thing, but I'm talking about jealousy and other women and blah, blah, blah. Like, he has never given me a reason to worry about that or to think that he's going to act a certain way, which he never ever has or will. But it is something that I constantly think is a struggle. And a lot of women struggle with this, and men. One thing that I was going to say is, when it comes to friendships, this also happens with 99.9% of women. This is who struggle with this. And I do want to clarify, before all the stuff we were saying, like, almost all of our friends do not struggle with stuff like this. We're just, again, speaking about a topic, right?
Yeah.
But no, so for this friendship, so I have someone in my life who gets very, very jealous about quite literally everything. Like, if, say, a guy has a crush on one of our other friends and me and whatever, like, this person, if she knows that he used to like her, it's like game over. Like, and gets very defensive and mean. That is a very like big no when it comes to, and a lot of people, I think, immediately turn to mean, right? And I've been guilty of this at times, not about my friends, but about like girls that like him or have liked other people that I liked. And like, that's just not right, and I really feel bad that
because that's simply just like that's someone's and we talked about this before in our intro video, like, you don't really have the right to kind of worry about this person and where they're going, because you don't know what they went through in the past. Like, that the past is their past. So it's like,
and exactly. And who cares if this stupid guy that no one wants to date thinks we're all cute and not just you. You know what I mean? Like, and it's that constant, like, that is something that I think a lot of, like, again, especially women, the compare and the jealousy and it's like, who gives a shit? Like half of these men don't matter to us or care, and like don't let that cause like a rough or something,
a ruckus or like a
yeah,
ripple.
Like
and
it's just interesting
because then you got to really think about, is it worth your time to stress about it? Like, because now and we're not talking about it, it's going to cause a fight in the friendship. It's just more so like, is it really worth you thinking about it?
It's
like
just so
that,
immature. It's like we're in our 20s, like, and I absolutely adore this situation in person and whatever. It's just funny, and like it just keeps happening, like randomly, sporadically with things, and it's just like, why? Like we're so old now. Like we're old, but you know what I mean. We're older.
No, we're getting old.
Our frontal lobe is developed. Like I don't know. It's just something that I think, as I've grown and as much as Edwin has helped me so much to be a better person, a better version of myself. And I've been able to reflect on things like that. And I'm like, you know what? I shouldn't really be doing that, or what I used to do as well, just because someone thinks he's attractive or whatever. And like, they didn't do anything, right? Like it's not that deep. So yeah, I really do think that it's something that we're always going to face, right? Like think about people that have been married for 20 years or 25 years. They still struggle with jealousy.
Of course.
And comparison and envy and all these things, especially couples that, unfortunately are unloyal, things like that. And listen, if someone cheats on you, then you have every right to be like very like
cautious,
concerned,
for sure.
Cautious. I mean, don't be in that relationship, but if you still are, like, obviously you're going to be very jealous and controlling and worried. And
my only worry with that is that the next person that comes in your life, now they're going to be subjected to what you were exposed to. Again, it's okay to acknowledge it and be aware of it, but at the same time, you can't say that this new guy that's coming in your life or new girl that's coming in your life is going to cheat on me because the past 4 other ones are. You got to have some positivity. Otherwise, don't get in a relationship and don't bother anybody else with your problems like that, right? Because then it's kind of unfair in a sense. Yeah. But also seek the help that you need.
And your partner and you should have a good, like, what's it called? Process of, like, what I hate, like, saying allowed to do, but, like, when guys are very controlling of what their girlfriends are allowed to do, I really don't agree with that. Again, to an extent, I'm not going to go to a club without him. Like, that's just weird. And if it were to happen, it would literally be like a one-time thing for like a bachelorette party, but it would not be like anything crazy, right? And I would behave and he would trust me. But like, that trust has to be there. Like, and it sucks and it hurts my heart when I see people that can't do things that are normal for adults our age because their boyfriend or girlfriend, because it also happens to guys too, doesn't allow it. And it all comes from the what ifs, the jealousy, things like that. And you just gotta let it go, because you're gonna be so much happier. So
but take everything you hear with a grain of salt. This one was a rather short episode, but I feel like we got straight to the point with it. We appreciate all the exposure that we've gotten. Again, we haven't posted this past week, and I know it doesn't matter because these episodes are filmed in a certain sequence, but we had some technical difficulties, but we made sure that this is right this time. We are very, very excited for the next couple of episodes coming out. We have a lot of good plans. And again,
we're going to have some special guests coming, so.
That's right. But have a great weekend or week whenever you're watching this.
Yeah. Thank you guys always for watching and supporting.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of who we should shout out right now.
Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
You know what? We're gonna shout out Howie D. Howie in the Hills.
Yeah,
we will
Howard.
link one of our friends, Howard.
His beats
he's a music producer and he makes his own beats and stuff like that. He posts on his Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. So you should go support him.
His real name is Alex. It took me like a year and a half to figure that out. So.
We're not going to get in that, but yeah, it's a long story. But yes, shout out Howard, and he'll be on here at some point.
He will. He's going to be in the corner over there just mixing those beats because we have a DJ set that I don't know why we bought, to be honest with you, but it's for Howard in there.
So shout out, and we'll link all his stuff below.
Of course, and hug your parents, eat your vegetables, and have a great day / weekend later.
Love you guys. Bye.